Welcome back. So we started with the understanding of homeostasis and we connected that with the conservation of vitality or energy. And further, we understood the depletion of energy and the impact of depletion of energy on our health in terms of reduction of elimination. Reduction of elimination means retainment of toxin within the body. And that's the primary reason of all types of physical ailment that we suffer. That is the starting point of all type of physical ailments that we experience, the toxemia. It is called toxemia. And when we experience toxemia, body conserves vitality on its own and try to reverse that state by, so toxemia is because of reduction of the normal elimination. Now, healing crisis comes as a rescue as the spatial elimination of those accumulated toxin. That is what is the healing crisis. Healing crisis also is named as spatial elimination. Now, this spatial elimination relieves the body from the overload of toxin and brings back the homeostasis. But the problem starts when we suppress the initiative of the body. Suppress the initiative of the body means, suppressing the initiative of the body means retaining the toxin further, and retainment of the toxin leads to the hardening of the toxin, increase of the density further. Already toxemia means increase in the blood density, and further retaining of the toxin means chronification and hardening of that dense toxin. So there we got the cue of the density factor. The density factor could be one major game changer in this all gamut of conservation of energy. And then from the density, we identified the importance of the speed and the heat. Now, if we have understood up to here, the cause of disease is the depletion of vitality, and reversal can be possible by reversing the depletion of energy, depletion of vitality, which is conservation of vitality. So if the disease has been caused by depletion of vitality, then the opposite of depletion is conservation. Conservation of vitality can reverse the disease. As simple as that. Now, how to conserve vitality? What are the domains? Just now we identified three properties: density, speed, and heat. If under these three properties, if we can inculcate the knack of conserving vitality, then how about that? Now, let's try and identify the factors of conservation of vitality. Now, vitality attributions are these three: genetic, environmental, and lifestyle. Yes, Meghna, want to say something?
No, sir.
Okay,
no, sir. Thank you.
You're unmute. Yeah, you're mute actually. Sorry, unmute. Now you're mute. Vitality attributions are these three factors: genetic, environment, and lifestyle. Genetic attribution is undeniable, but for individual health, it is irreversible. Whatever is cast is cast. We cannot reverse that at any point in time. So we cannot change our parents or our forefathers. So we have to accept this situation. We do not have any other choice. So genetic analysis of our own for our health is irrelevant because we cannot change it, cannot do much. It is needed for the people, those who are planning for kids. For them, the importance of genes to be understood. So for that, we actually have a separate conversation on the mindful procreation for the younger people, those who are planning for the children. We can connect later on that. Now, coming to the second factor on environment. Environment is one attribution which cannot be denied, and it needs a lot of support, individual support. But without community effort, the change in the environment is quite impossible. So we can start changing from our side bits by bits and pieces, but that cannot bring change in the environment overnight. So for our life, we may not be reaping the benefits of planting a tree today, which will be for the next generation. Now, for my health in my life, what I can do, I can focus on the third attribution, which is in my control completely, which is my lifestyle. So apart from the genetic environment, lifestyle is the biggest attributors of vitality, which can be controlled and regulated by me, and which has got these three domains: physical, physiological, and psychological. And you see, in bracket, there are three names written: inputs, activities, and mind. So direct inputs are four factors which physically goes inside our body. Those are the input factors. And density is correlated there. Density is managed there. Lesser the density of that food, better on the conservation of vitality. Now, under the second domain, activities is mostly about the speed, because it manages the movement of the circulation within the body, primarily through our spinal care, through our exercises or movement of the body, and due to our sleep. And the last domain, psychological, the mind, which is equivalent to the heat. The thought, mind, heat, all are formless and forms of energy. So they can be synonymous, can be considered synonymous. We'll go deeper tomorrow in the mind factor. So now let's see, these factors do have different types of, these three domains do have different types of factors. Now inputs and activities are basically matter management. We'll be touching upon these matter management points today, and the booklet that has been shared dedicated on the matter management primarily. I request all of you to go through that booklet today, at least after the session. And tomorrow, first two sessions are dedicated for the question answer and the revision of today's topics and the booklet points. So you are expected to bring a lot of doubts out of the booklet. And the mind is the idea management, which is primary dedication tomorrow. We'll be going ahead with. Now the factors of input. The primary factors of inputs. So up to here, any doubt in the identification of the domains or these aspects? Anyone? Preeti, Meghna, the new people, those who have joined, Kaushik, are you able to follow the proposals, or it is overwhelming?
Yes, sir. I'm able to follow.
You're able? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Preeti, are you able to? Minu, you want to come in?
Quincy is also new if she's there.
Yeah, Quincy in this session has not joined. I don't find her. Yeah, Quincy is not there in this particular session. But yeah, Meghna is there. Meghna, are you okay with the proposals? Any doubts so far or any question? Meghna, are you able to hear? Yeah, all okay. Thank you. Right. So these are a bit prescriptive. There are nothing much deeper aspect in these. So input matters are these four matters: radiation, air, water, and solid food. These are four things that we consume as inputs. Radiation, air, water are direct consumption, and solid food is through the mouth as food we consume. Now, the rationales of radiation. So here are the proposals: regular access of solar radiation, mindful air intake or deep breathing, needful pure water intake, and ample of raw solid food. Now, I request either Beenal or Meenu, whoever has got good
Is my
connectivity.
voice clear?
Yeah, your voice is clear. So, radiation rational, if you can read for the people. Yeah.
Sure, I can say that. Radiation rationales. The sun is the primary natural radiation for this galaxy. Solar radiation has both particles and heat. The particles are food for the body that goes into the bloodstream directly, bypassing digestion and thereby conserving energy.
So here,
Being out,
yeah, here what we need to identify, the radiation has got two aspects. One is the heat, other is the particle. Heat is overall impact in the galaxy. So for heat, we need not to do something extra, but the particle is the food that is consumed through the skin. The particle is consumed through the skin. So we need direct access of the solar radiation as much as possible without irritating the skin. So our interest is primarily the particle, because ultimately that particle becomes our food. And since it goes directly to the bloodstream, bypassing the digestive system, because in the digestive system, when we consume a solid food, lot of vitality is engaged in the digestion process. If we can compensate that with solar particle, then we conserve a lot of vitality. Yes, the last point.
being outdoors is beneficial to receive the particles.
Yes, being outdoor as much as possible.
Sir, excuse me.
Yes, Nandini.
Taran wants to be let in, please.
She is, oh, sorry. Yeah, she was in the waiting room. Yeah. Yeah, welcome, Taran. I didn't check the waiting room. Sorry for keeping you wait. Yeah,
So
Taran.
this is pertaining to sunbathing
Yes.
early in the early hours in the day and in the or
In
at
the
sunset.
evening, at the sunset. Yes, yes. So, so directly when we take solar radiation, the heat also impacts on the body, and if the skin irritates, then we don't recommend the sunbathing. So, if suppose there is no situation of getting a direct sunbathing sun radiation, then being in open space, keeping the well ventilated rooms like the windows and doors to be kept open as much as possible, so that we get the benefits of the radiation which are available. Any daylight means there are particles, there are radiation. Yes. Right. Taran, are you able to hear?
Yes.
Yes, yes. So, are you able to follow the proposal so far?
Well, this time I just joined looking at the radiation ration.
Right. So we're talking about the 10 factors, 7 factors, first 7 factors, and out of which this was the first factor, radiation. Now, the next it goes the air rationals.
Air rationales. Air is the primary food for the body. Without air, we cannot survive even for a few minutes. Like radiations, air also go directly into the bloodstream, bypassing digestion and thereby energy. So
the similar pattern here we see for the air, also like the sun particle, it goes directly to the bloodstream. So through the nostril and lungs, it goes to the bloodstream, bypassing the digestive system. And in the digestive system, in the process of digestion, we spend a lot of vitality that can be conserved. if we are mindful about our breathing, and primarily the deep breathing. Deep breathing is our natural knack that gets compromised due to different reasons. Tomorrow, the mind, when we'll understand, we'll identify that the mind is the primary reason of compromising the breathing. So we can actually reverse this situation. And obviously, air is the primary food. Without this food, we cannot survive few minutes also. Yeah. Next point.
So if it is not done mindfully, I understand that it may not be done properly, not deep breathing, but if it is not being done mindfully, does it still, it is still food for us, it is still reaching us.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, obviously. Lesser, low quality, these all happens, but definitely it is a food, and which is a consistent food for us. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Breathing is inseparable from all other acts of life. Deeper the breathing, the better the absorption and elimination.
Yeah. That's one.
Active deep breathing is just deep breathing along with other activities, not as a separate.
So in Pure Nature Cure, separate exercise of breathing is not recommended. What is recommended is active deep breathing. Active deep breathing means whatever we do, if we can bring our consciousness to the breathing frequently, number of times, then the pattern of breathing gets better on its own. It gets deeper. So separately sitting and doing a practice of breathing is not recommended, because that doesn't make a lot of change as far as the homeostasis and the effortless living is concerned, and effortless attainment of health is concerned. So it could bring some kind of ideated proposal, ideated changes in the body, but definitely sustaining of the homeostasis can be linked with the active deep breathing, which can be possible when we club breathing with other activities that we do on day-to-day basis. Water rational. Menu is there.
Are
Or-
suckling animals by structure. Sipping water slowly is natural.
Can you start once again, because I think it was not audible initially.
Okay. Water rationals. We are suckling animals by structure. Sipping water slowly is natural. The best quality of water is the natural water in the fruits and vegetables in its unmodified form.
The first point, the suckling animals. We are not drinking animals by structure. We start our life with one reflex, which is suckling. So along with the rooting, means identifying the nipples as a source of food, and then sucking the nipples and gulping that liquid which comes in the mouth, are three reflexes with which we start our life. So we are basically structure wise suckling animal. So drinking water, a lot of drinking water together is overloading our digestive system and the kidneys both. So here, what is the proposal is slowly sipping of the water. Yeah.
Thirst is the indicator of the separate need for water. The quality of water is enhanced through sun irradiation.
Yes. So best quality of water is definitely the water in the raw form of vegetables and fruits and vegetables rather. So if we have enough raw fruits and vegetables, then separate requirement of water is lesser in our life. Whatever the separate water that we need, that is indicated by our sense of thirst. That is the voice of the organism. If we do not identify thirst, and even though if we put water because of proposal, ideas and all, then it is nothing but an overload on our vitality, because who will decide whether I need water or not? That is myself, and my voice of the organism will indicate that. So that's one thing we need to be observant about. Now, the water that we consume separately, the quality of that water gets depleted, gets reduced because of lot of so-called modernized filtration. So whatever the filter that we are using, despite that, what we can do is, before consumption, if we can keep that water in an earthen pot for a few hours in any exposed site of solar radiation. So that could be balcony, that could be rooftop or courtyard, where solar radiations are coming. So earthen pot covering with a cotton cloth, if we can keep for few hours, then the quality of the water is enhanced, because the earthen pot is porous, and through the pores the radiation and the air both pass through, and due to that the quality gets enhanced due to that movement, and that becomes a better quality of the water. Any question on this? In the booklet, you will be able to identify a few more proposals which you can go through, and please let us know tomorrow in the morning hour if you have any concern or counter proposal. Here, Mekha.
So I think placing water in earthen pots also has to do with the increasing the alkalinity of the water.
Well, alkalinity and acidity is one aspect, one area where you may find a lot of nature cure practitioners proposes. But in pure nature cure, primarily in our proposals, we don't include alkalinity or acidity, because of the simple reason that how to identify alkalinity or acidity of anything without taking the help of labs. Right. So our voice of the organism is one aspect that we focus the most. So yeah, we may end up increasing the alkalinity of the water, but that is not given a lot of importance in this discussion. Yeah. For the simple reason, but because who will identify alkalinity? We need to take a help of lab or any measurement, right?
I want to understand what is the rationale behind it. Is there any rationale behind it?
Yes. The lab requirement, because whatever the proposals that are being discussed here, that are making us independent, that are making us dependent, independent of any kind of external measures. So we are focusing on the voice of the organism, which is a self-driven decision that we are proposing here. We need not to be dependent on any specific thing which will help us to stay healthy. We are well equipped to identify the needed aspects. Are you able to identify the most rational?
Okay.
Yeah, anyway, tomorrow again you can come up with further rationals of yours. So we are open to modify. We are not rigid about any rationals that are being proposed. So if we find any rationale in your proposal, we may end up including that. Yeah, Rashmi.
So what about water that is purified using AquaGuard or Kent? This should be basically also not natural, right?
Yeah. So reverse osmosis, whatsoever the name of the company or the machine, reverse osmosis is an unnatural filtration process. Because of a lot of contamination in the water, we don't deny if it is installed already in your home. But if we are mindful about the quality of water, then we can bring this habit of using an earthen pot, of storing the water. Maybe 2 earthen pot can be kept. One can be kept in the exposure of solar radiation for a few hours and can be circulated for the consumption, and another can be kept. So this kind of circulation could help us to enhance the quality of water.
Okay.
But sir, municipal water contains a lot of fluoride.
Yes.
And and along with that, there are heavy metals also one knows about. So how
Yeah,
to
yeah,
handle
that's
that?
so that's what, like, see, we have these proposals handy. One is increasing the raw consumption so that we need least water consumption separately. That's the first and the primary habit change that we can bring in. And next is bringing the quality in the water that we consume by through the solar irradiation. Post filtration, whatever you do, but I don't know if you have any solution of those contamination, please come up. The RO filtration claims to give a solution for those contamination. If you have any understanding or rationale, please come up. Nandini.
RO doesn't stop the heavy metals from going in, as far as I know. And heavy metals, the problem with them is that they get deposited in our vital organs, and it is difficult for the body to eliminate. This is what I'm told. But typically, what I do, I just use a copper, it's like a strip which has to be kept clean. There is a reason to use that. But I do not use any aqua.
Strip means, I can get. Can you please explain? I couldn't get, Nandini. Strip means?
A copper strip,
Copper strip, okay.
yeah, which is kept clean. It is supposed to absorb all the, the pollutants, the whatever contaminants of the water. And every day it has, it has to be kept clean. It has to be kept clean with lemon and honey. So it has.
Any rational establishment of this?
It
what
has.
Is the rationale? Why did you start this?
Why did I start this?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've stopped using the purifier now at my place, and I find that I'm as good or bad as I was earlier. So it works
why you
better.
have chosen? Why you have chosen a copper strip, not a wood strip?
No, a copper strip, a copper, if you look at the atomic structure of it, it has one electron available. And it seems that it is that which helps in attracting all the whatever pollutants and contaminants there are in it. So for that reason.
Okay. I need to go deeper into this aspect because
Yes.
I don't understand this as of now. And what we propose is being mindful about the tastelessness of the water. Water is basically tasteless. Any change in the taste should bring an alarm that it is not a pure water for sure. If it is enhanced in the taste or it is dull in the taste.
After that, I put it in an earthen container and then it goes for irradiation. This is what I do, and it tastes very nice because we do have salty water otherwise. The salts are high, I think. Yes.
The copper aspect, I'm not an expert, so I'll not be able to comment. I would like to understand more with you on this. Maybe
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, surely.
Right. So now comes to the definition of solid food. Yeah, we'll read.
The body-building substance, which is palatable in its single, unmodified state and available abundantly in nature.
Yes. So the body-building substance, it is purely the body-building substance, which is palatable. It has to be acceptable. It has to be acceptable at the entry. In its single unmodified state, single state, that means without combination, it is palatable. Without any combination, it is palatable. And in its unmodified state, it is palatable. That means it is not mixed with spices, salts to get it modified. Still, it is palatable. And available abundantly in nature. Abundantly in nature means we do not to put a lot of effort to get it. So vitality connection, palatability, vitality connection. Single state means no extra modification we are doing. Unmodified chemically, that is also no extra effort. And available abundantly. You see, every proposal, every word has got conservation of energy in its subtle form. Then only it becomes our suitable food. Suitable food. Modification can be, is proposed also. The modification can be done with only fire, air, and water. Fire, air, and water means by steaming or boiling, it could enhance a bit palatability. Without chemical changes, just through the boiling or steaming, it can bring some palatability. For example, the potato. Potato in its raw form, it's not palatable. But if it is steamed or boiled, then it becomes a bit palatable. So that is proposed. Without much effort, this can be done. Right. So any question in this on this definition of identifying what is our food? What is a food for an organism? Because this proposal is for the organisms, not for only Homo sapiens. Yes,
So
Shilpa.
what about salt and spices?
Yes, that is modification. And the taste modification means the natural response of palatability is jeopardized. The moment we modify the taste, the natural voice of the organism, that is the driver, the indicator, that gets jeopardized, that gets modified.
So it has to be minimized.
Yes, yes. Use of
And-
salt and spices has to be minimized if we would like to reach to the original voice of the organism. You know, so for example, if we inculcate the habit of consuming fruits a lot, like more than 50% of the diet if are consisted with fruits, then there is no question of any modification, right? Those are palatable in its natural form.
Yes.
Yeah. So I would like to share. Sorry, Shilpi, you were saying something.
Sorry, I was just saying same with herbs.
If it is palatable, then only. If it is palatable, then
Singly.
only it is, yeah, singly.
Okay, thank you.
You don't want to say something?
Yeah, I was just saying that whatever the food mixing that we do, even in the raw form, even if the food, like say the herbs or the other foods, like whatever the mixed salad that we make, something like that, without the intention of changing the taste of the foods, if we are doing it, then it is okay. But if it is with the intention that the taste should be enhanced,
Yeah.
even if we are adding the lemon drops also, can be like the over
engaging of the
indulging.
vitality. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And also like with the intention of suppressing some taste. If we have an intention to suppress any taste, then also that leads to over engagement of vitality. So we are having a few seconds in this session. So we are gathering again at sharp 9 a.m. tomorrow, Indian Standard Time, and continuing our discussion. For the first 2 sessions, we'll be reopening all the proposals that have been proposed today. And the rest of the 3 factors also will bring in the activity factors, the spine care, exercise, and the sleep. So till then, have a proper rest and try to flip through the booklet and come with a lot of questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.